Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Virgo. If Virgo is your solar, lunar, ascendant/rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. And so, our card tonight is the Devil card. And TT says hello. Let's see what these tea leaves have to say. All right. And so if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. And so we have that Devil card, that Devil energy. I like the Devil energy. For me, I very much think of it as kind of the breaker of rules, of the chains, of, the constraints that we place upon ourselves that are placed upon us. There is definitely a sense of moving outside of the prescribed, meanings of things, how we should perceive the world, and the course that is really kind of sold to us and all of that. The Devil does not, it's not really the Devil archetype, I should say. Especially in the Thoth deck with the goat, the Capricorn relation is very heavy there, and not our classical sense of what the Devil might be. Okay, so I do want to start. Where do I want to start here? Tai, I think I'm going to have to let you down for a few minutes, my love. I want to get in here and be able to move around. Okay, go on now. Go find Papa. Okay, so we have, and I want to look right here. We have a person. You can see the head. You can see the body. They have the hand out here, the feet, and it looks like there's maybe like a little flower growing over here, and a hand up here. And I imagine they have something like a watering can of some kind. Within the person as well, you can see there's a smaller person who is also holding a watering can. Okay, so I really do feel like this is an image of growth from the interior into the exterior into the interior, so within, so within, so without, right? And so this is kind of the same as the as above, so below. So it is the inside reflecting the outside reflecting the inside, and it is infinitely fractal. So I feel like we really have this sense of moving into a place of really taking great care of, and let's see what we have over here. Now it looks like a flower. It also looks very phallic, okay? So I imagine that this is a time where you are really focusing on your creativity, on really growing things within your life in the physical realm. This could be a business. This could be some kind of passion, some kind of, deep interest, forming bonds with other people, whatever it is, it's a very fertile time for that. And it seems quite successful. As you can see, the flower growing, and the bud here ready to bloom. And I feel like, we have the flower kind of growing off the top of the head, with the flower growing off the arm over here. I imagine you are, there's many parts of self really are in this beautiful peak place. Come over here, Papa. Come on. Come on, little boy. Oh. Okay, now you got to go over to the back there. Jump. Good boy. All right, we'll see you later. Get on now. I know you'll make another appearance pretty soon, but let's focus here for the people. Okay, so now we also have a nest over here, okay? And we have a bird's head, kind of a little baby bird. And so this is really a time of renewal. It's not just that... I feel like you really are in a place where these last months have been at times kind of trying. I think that, and this is true, I think, often of us Virgos in general, we really get in our heads about the way that other people kind of perceive us, how well are we kind of, tending to the things that we have promised ourselves to, our responsibilities, our domestic life, our business, our children, our, communities, whatever it is, spiritual work. And we are not the types that are, very, we're not very easy on ourselves. We're very, I think, sometimes quite, what is the word? Well, I could say we're quite hard on ourselves, but we're really very particular about how we do things, and if we're not really living up to that, well, that can really, become quite a spiral into, mental devastation there. And Pudgy, please don't, my love. These cats. I'm just sitting over there pushing my stuff off of my off of my altar. And so I feel that we have this time where you surpass some of that. And that's kind of where it was. We're kind of in this cycle of, doing pretty well, feeling pretty confident, putting our neck out a little bit, and then somebody or something happens, it might be a little minor, or very, or really, quite a blow, and really kind of knocks us off course. Well, I really feel like coming into this new year, coming into this new time, there is really a sense of going into just our own space, doing our own thing, not being worried about, other people's concerns, how we concern ourselves with their opinions about things, and really just kind of taking that. And I love to use this. I'm not from the South, obviously, but I love the saying, bless their soul, or bless their heart, bless their heart. It's really, it really is a most wonderful kind of dismissal, or just kind of like, okay, cool, I bless you, but I also am not putting up with whatever that energy is, okay? Not for me. So I really feel like this is a time where it's like, okay, we're focused, we're doing our thing, we're getting back to those, the source of, our ability to create, our ability to receive inspiration, to really commune with the divine, to remember that core path that we are on. That moments where we really do interact with that fiery word, right? The thing that kind of brings life into all things. And I think part of that, often is taking on that kind of devil attitude about things. Just kind of like, I'm not going to be worried about any of that. I can care about people from afar generally. I can care about people within my life. I don't have to put all of my emotional, physical, financial, spiritual resources into them. Sometimes it really is just kind of a cutting off of that stuff for our own benefit. Okay. And I see that. I see that there really is kind of this becoming your own garden, right? Having your garden while also becoming your own garden. And that baby bird, really, I feel like that is that part of ourselves where we have to tend to it. We have to take care of it. We have to be both mommy and daddy to this thing. And really raise that part up of ourselves that we are focused on, whatever that is that you're working on in those interior processes, okay? And I think, it must be kind of in an emotional sphere because we do have the Ace of Cups here, okay? We also have the moon. So this really is that kind of lunar water, that water of life, the emotional waters, the unconscious waters. I know I talk about it a lot, and it's something that has been very present in my own psyche lately, and always, really. But I do think that this is really a time where, for one reason or another, we're very much forced into, not even forced, I'm not going to say forced. We are really compelled into these interior landscapes. Okay. And I've talked about, and you can hear my voice is a little scruff. I've been sick it feels like it's been about a month. But before that, very tired and worn down. We had so much going on. Like everybody does. I'm not trying to get sympathy right here, but basically I feel that because of the circumstances of my life and the busyness and the I got really worn down, and then I got sick from more than one thing, and it was one thing after another, and this really compelled me, I'm going to stop saying compelled me into a place where I felt very present in spirit. The fevers, the resting, the deep dreams, the things that I was taking like Theraflu and stuff, dreaming wildly, okay? And I felt very, very much in this time spirit everywhere, and I think about spirit a lot. God and goddesses and intelligences and many things I feel very present in my household and my personal temple and all of this. But in this time of sickness, really felt it in a way that I had not for a while. Okay. And so I feel like maybe you haven't been sick, but one reason or another, you are very close to those emotional waters, and swimming in those unconscious places, right? In the collective unconscious, I should call it. And I like to think of that as either one of two things: a vast ocean at night, Or sometimes I like to think of it as the night sky, like knew it, right? That beautiful grandmother that brings us blessings of the abstract ideas and symbols and mythologies and all of the lovely things that we collect and weave together and create this base reality that we kind of exist in together, this collective hallucination. Okay, so we're really in that place. And that makes sense to me. As a solar Virgo, I feel like, yeah, I'm there. I'm with you. This seems all on course for me right now as well. Now, I want to turn this over before I forget. We have 2, 1, and it looks like maybe 21 and then exclamation mark, okay? We also have a large 7 right here. Okay, so those are 2 numbers that are really coming up. And then this one looks like 272. So a lot of 2s and 7s tonight. Now, I want to get back to this side. We have the boat. I know they've been in a lot of them, but it is also the crescent. So we have that double moon energy. But this phallic symbol, this this what's it called, a flower, right? It is kind of the person as well in the boat. Okay, and now on this side, when we look at it, it kind of does look like it says something like I, T, and then maybe like a Z, ITZ. And this one, the 7 also kind of looks like a T. I don't know. So anyways, we have the boat. Okay, so we have the boat. The boat has eyes, right? We can see the eyes. Now, the boat keeps coming up in readings, and I think, part of that is the energies right now. I also think, it's the way that the T likes to lay often. And so I see these eyes and I see the boat, and the boat means for me, not always, but especially these kinds of boats. This one doesn't have a sail. It kind of looks like a rowboat. This one looks like it is a night crossing. We also have a person right here holding a heart. You can see this little, and then we have a heart right here, actually, kind of mirrored. And so the night crossing really is, it is a ritual. And if you could imagine kind of rowing yourself out onto the lake, and the lake is reflecting the night sky. And so you are kind of in the infinite sky, the infinite ocean of the unconscious. And as you row out, you begin to release candles. Okay, these are like those floating candles, and you disperse them into the waters one after another as kind of a maybe like a votive offering, maybe as a symbol of your path and path working. And also, this is kind of, if you could think of, and obviously they're gonna float off course, but this is kind of like in a symbolic manner, something akin to kind of leaving our breadcrumbs, right? And so I look at this and I think, this time you have maybe been in that place where you've been close to spirit. You have maybe been having vivid dreams. You have been thinking over these past weeks, months, years of your life, and really kind of considering, oh my goodness, how much things have changed. The many people I've been, the many places I have been, the many things I have done and will do, and, the beauty of all of that, the terrible of it as well, right? And yet you've survived, and yet you've survived, and yet you have thrived, right? And so I feel like this is really a time when there isn't it, there's a swelling of the heart, an expression of your love to oneself, right? You have been your knight in shining armor. You have been your own savior in a lot of ways, right? You have lived the ideals of what an earthly savior might look like. And so I think that this is a time where there's a lot of kind of forgiveness for self, where you have made mistakes. I feel like there's even maybe a sense of absolution, okay? And maybe this is a good time for you to quite literally enact some kind of symbolic ritual, if you have one. I like to when things kind of build up for me, I like to do kind of a absolution, anointment, a cleansing, and then anointment. And I do this, it doesn't sound as fancy as when you say it, but just literally, come over here. Get your boot out of the camera, please. Come here. You silly. My little silly. But quite literally just going into the shower, and kind of doing a ritual cleansing, of washing away the things that have felt unkind, toxic, kind of, if you can imagine picking the thorns out of your heart, right? Out of your mind, the thoughts, the internal dialogue where I have been brutal to myself, where I have not given myself room to just be a human with all of my flaws, and kind of overlooked the things that every day trying to move forward, heal, live in service, and all these things that a lot of us are really here to do. And I truly feel that a lot of you, when you find yourself in these readings here, listening to them, that's no mistake. Our cosmic paths have been crossed, and there is like energy here. And so I fully believe, that our wills are not unlike one another. That we are really, we are people that are looking for something deeper, for something more. We are people who have maybe lived lives that have not always been easy, that maybe we have done things that we regret, that maybe we've even felt guilt and shame for. But we have come into a point where we realize, okay, this stuff, yes, we must kind of repent to ourselves, or whatever your process of that kind of repenting is. And we must let go of it at some point, because really, truly, it becomes something that not only weighs us down, but it is an excuse for ourselves to not grow, to not become more, right? We hold on to those wounds, that either we have or we have created, or both, because it's easier to remain in that idea of ourselves than to let go of it and to allow ourselves to become whatever it is that we will become. Okay. And so I feel like this is a time where it's kind of like, I'm done holding on to that stuff. I'm ready. I'm ready to move on. And as we turn this over, the cup looks like an hourglass, right? And that's all about that time. Everything in its right time. Everything in its right time. I also want to point out we have the dog up here. Okay, so I feel like there is a real sense of loyalty. You have somebody, or you or something that you are very loyal to. This is something that's really important in your life right now. This is something that is not the reason that you want to live well, of course, but it is one of the reasons. And I think that's very important to your heart, your mind, your soul, but also your identity. Okay, because I think that, and there's nothing wrong with that, for us to honor the identities, the personalities, the personas that we create. Okay, as long as we're not enslaved by them. But I do think that this is something that you take pride in. And I'll give examples. Maybe like being a good parent, a good partner, somebody who, really shows up for their family, takes care of their parents or their community, has a friend that they, put a lot of their time and energy into. Not because you want anything from it, but because you love them. Okay, and really, ultimately, this is being in the service of love and living as a true devotee to the religion of love. Okay. All right, now let's take a look over here. Okay, so we do have interesting. We have a person here running. We have a snake right here. And then we have a being kind of meeting with the lion, and it very much the strength or lust card here. Now, I feel... So I do think that there's a sense of... an awareness of not wanting to fall into old patterns. And I think with that snake, there's maybe somebody in your life who maybe they're not a bad person, but they have or do something about them kind of changes the energy of things. It changes the atmosphere. And I feel like it almost makes you feel like you are going to slip back into old behaviors. Okay. And I feel like you're running away from that. That's like, nope. And part of that is really you have grown in such a way that you can overcome that desire to whatever it is, I don't know, whatever thing, and maybe, it could be like love or love addiction or, the physical act or I don't know, inebriation, spending money, any of the things, right? And so, I'm sorry, I'm trying to cover her bottom there, give her a little bit of privacy. And so, I think that this is important, and it's wonderful to see that you feel confident in that. Your instinct is like, nope, I'm going to definitely hold fast here and I'm out of here. Like, I know that this is not a good place for me, right? And then the other thing, we have a 3 and a 2. Okay, so 32. We have a lot of numbers tonight. Okay, so we have the Happier Me affirmation cards, and I'm just going to flip through here and stop, and it's going to say, what is it gonna say? I am exactly who I need to be in this moment. Yes, I am exactly who I need to be in this moment. All your past actions are teaching moments for your present self. Every lesson takes you to the present moment, to exactly who you need to be. There we go. Punctuates the reading. Thank you. Happier Me affirmation cards. I love it when it does that. All right. Virgo, I love spending time with you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel so much. If you would like to subscribe, I hope that you do. You can hit the little bell when you do. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out, and it is free to subscribe. If you would like to leave a comment, I would love to hear from you. It definitely is one of my favorite parts of having the channel here. So with that, I will say I love you. Happy New Year once again, and we will talk in just a few days.